morning. It's Elliot and
Matthew.
And Uma's in the backseat. And we're driving to a cabin in the woods in Arkansas, which is about 6.5 hours from where we live. And in about 10 minutes, we have our first call with our attorney to start the process for me to adopt Uma. Because right now, on the birth certificate, in Nebraska, they don't recognize surrogacy. So the two names on the birth certificate are the woman who gives birth to the child and then the father. So right now it's Matthew and his mom. So we'll start the process of me adopting Uma from Matt's mom. So we thought we'd just take you guys along for the road trip today, record some of that conversation, and then show you the cabin when we pull up to it later. Let's go. Hi, how's
Hi
it
there.
going?
How are you?
Good, how about you?
Okay. All right. So,
This is Elliot right now.
Elliot, okay. Elliot, you're the one I need to talk to.
Awesome.
Okay. Neither of you have the other children.
Nope, that's the only child.
Okay. Matthew's mother, correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
So we just got off the phone with the attorney and we paid $200 to talk to him for 20 minutes and basically say the same stuff that I filled out in the questionnaire that I was required to submit before talking to him. So
Yeah, he was very pleasant. You know, I don't know, just the whole money thing, because I was asking Elliot, in a second we're going to find out how much this will cost, but that was a $200 20-minute conversation.
where'd we go? There we go.
And ours should be relatively seamless because my mom will be so willing to consent that hopefully we can skip a couple processes like them investigating our house and seeing if we're fit to have a child. And even though, you know, we're confident that we're providing like a safe, secure environment for Uma, it just feels invasive to be like, are you worthy of this? And so just those extra challenges for gay couples, especially if you have like a surrogate, and this happens more often than not, a surrogate that suddenly doesn't consent and they are given more biological rights than the other gay parent. And so it just shows like the complications that go on, and it makes me sad about, you know, we were really lucky to save so much money and we were really thrifty, and we also were creative in terms of having family members help us out that saved some cost, but it was
With our IVF.
yeah, with IVF, and it was so expensive. And then these additional expenses, like just to drop a $200 20-minute conversation just shows like there's a real like socioeconomic divide in terms of which queer couples can have the privilege to build a family and which ones can't. And I don't know if there's a way to fix that, but it just doesn't.
I mean, I think my big discrepancy is like states not recognizing surrogacy, because this process would be completely unnecessary if we were in most other states where my name would just be on the birth certificate.
Right,
So,
then that's where like you've got a federal law that recognizes same-sex marriage, but you have a state that's very conservative, ours, Nebraska, that is forced to acknowledge that same-sex marriage is legal, but then there's so many little things that don't even match under that system. So like just the whole paperwork that we went through with IVF, when you had to constantly be like filling yourself out as the mother, like it was never parent one, parent two, and the fact that like they wouldn't even put Elliot on the birth certificate, like there was like even from like a symbolic standpoint. So you know, that stuff just makes things more and more challenging for gay couples, especially where we live, to just do what many couples want to do.
Yeah, and you know, ultimately we always are so celebratory that we were able to do this and had the means to do it, and we are so grateful to have Uma, and we're willing to jump through any hoop. So like, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining, because ultimately we really are so blessed to have been able to do this, but it is just a reminder of like the process that, I don't know, like all the paperwork and everything you have to be able to like complete continuously, where, you know, like I have to do a background check and they want to like do a home visit, where most people, they can just get pregnant and have a baby. There's no background check for for them, you know. So
Yeah.
just the fact that my background, which is clear, is being drawn into question is just like, I don't know. So yeah, that's just our initial feelings right after. I think mostly it's just like, here we go again, spending money and doing paperwork and talking to, you know, professionals. So yeah, ultimately we are grateful too.
Yeah, but I think it's okay to be frustrated with things that are clearly, I think, just like injustices. And it's not just about us, it's about people that are in less privileged situations that don't have the money to make these kinds of things happen.
For sure. Yeah, we're very blessed in that way.
It'll be nice to have this over with.
Yeah, exactly. So we just got off the phone with the assistant to our lawyer, and we got the estimated total cost for the full adoption process, and it's going to be $3,000 plus $200 a month for our case, even if we're just waiting for like hearing dates or court dates too. So if it takes 6 months, I could add like several thousand, I mean $1,000 or $2,000 more dollars. So feeling a little irritated and obviously not excited about the fact that it's going to cost so much. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it should be that complicated of a process, that something that costs that much money.
I just wonder if we had like gone into a different state to give birth, we could have saved all that money.
I know. Well, it just seems, yeah. And me and Matt were just talking, like, can we just submit this paperwork ourselves? Or, like, is that, like, a formidable process?
Well, another thing that's just, like, we dealt with this all throughout the pregnancy, where we knew the IVF and the fertility clinic stuff would all be out of pocket, just like any other straight couple. But then once we were pregnant, hospitals were never transparent about prices because it was all out of pocket, so insurance wouldn't cover anything, and there was constant hidden fees, and there was constant things they were charging us, and
we had to really advocate for ourselves to protect ourselves.
But then at the same time, we didn't want to be stingy when we were doing a high-risk pregnancy.
But it was constantly like being like told one
they
figure.
Told us
and
originally, since we're just bitching about money right now, they told us originally at the hospital it's a $5,000 deal. We were like, great, okay, we know right in front.
Boom.
And then it ended up being probably closer to 20,000. I think it was 16,000 in the end. But also just not knowing the lack of transparency.
Well, and then we would be like, well, we were given these numbers. Or, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
So it just feels like with this, again, like being like, well, it's going to be this much, but this much per month. And then if they're working on your case and it's this much per hour, we'll let you know if you owe more that month. And I just am like, here we go again. Like, you know, it's so hard. Like we were just saying earlier, like I am so grateful and here we are, but it just seems like this feels like
it just
trickery in some ways, or just like having to navigate this system is,
well, I'm taking advantage of like our minority status when we just want to build a family. And I think like thank God we were able to save the money that we did. But so with IVF, which costs about $50,000, and then the additional about $20,000, that's $70,000 plus this. I mean, we're getting close to at least $80,000, $90,000 just to have one child.
I mean, that's literally money that me and Matt have saved working as a hairdresser and teacher.
Yeah,
like we didn't get an inheritance. We don't have like an estate. Like we have made major like sacrifices and to make sure this could happen for us, and lived within our means, and you know, have been blessed to be able to come up with that money because they want cash up front for all of these things. So it's just like, this will be the final step, and Uma will be my daughter at the end of this, and nothing can take that back. But it just, I think that's why we've waited this long to start this process, is it's just another process to navigate that feels so like convoluted and in others' control when it's our family that we're talking about, you know what I mean? And that feels just so like agitating, and frustrating.
Manifestation. When we want a second child, a woman, a benevolent, selfless woman just lets us do like a home IUI, natural birth, and fuck everything that, think how much money you could save.
Well, that's the thing is, yeah, like, and something that's so in alignment with like the way we want to be living too. It just seems like navigating all of this like patriarchal systems to have a child is so out of alignment with everything that we hold dear and value, and we can't escape it. We're entangled in it. So I'm excited to be able to be done with this process, and like you said, we're holding a vision for how we will continue to build our family, and we trust that people will cross our paths where it can be so much more of an organic process next time. Thanks for listening. We're here, and Uma did so well in the car for 6 hours. You ready to get out?
Yeah.
You ready to get out? Look, this is where we're staying.
What do you look? Oh wow. So nice.
Cute. Wow. Look at our jacuzzi tub. Bubble bath. There's a little loft up there. Wow, Uma.
Can we do a fireplace?
I think so. You like it here? You want to go explore? Ah. Uma, should we have a fire tonight? Yeah? Here, want me to hold your hand? There we go. No? You need help? Well, we brought a ton of groceries and the blender and all sorts of stuff to make all of our meals, but we decided that to treat ourselves, going to indulge in a feast tonight.
We're also feeling much more at peace with the whole money adoption thing. We didn't take you for the journey, we just took you for the rant.
Yeah, it was nice to sit with it and drive with it and stuff too, but you know, it's gotta be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can explain later our philosophies on money, but right now I'm freaking hungry.
After we feast. Yeah, let's eat some food, huh? Yummy, yummy. And the wine opener. Happy? So happy? Are you happy?
Ew. Besides bad, look how pink I look. I look like a sunburnt thumb.
There.
What?
The lid popping in.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Where's that wet rag? And you slide your arm through. Nose. Lips. Which ones are the eyes? Ears. Very good. You're so smart. Nom, 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 nom.
for a ride? Sleepy girl?
Okay, so we are on a hike. Right now, this is our first day. Elliot took us to a cute little isolated cabin in the woods in a place called Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And today's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, today's Thanksgiving. So Matt's not teaching this week, so that's why we took advantage of him having some time off, and we decided to head down here for a little retreat in nature, just to kind of regroup and just hang out together.
And right now I feel really grateful that we have this time off, because I feel like we had been feeling stagnant and yeah, stuck, I guess. And so already we feel this huge sense of relief, and we feel playful, and I'm thankful for Elliot for playing all this stuff and always making our lives magical, and I'm grateful for Uma,
who loves to be outside and throw rocks and pick up leaves.
Yeah,
we're so lucky that she loves to be outside. Otherwise, I don't think we would plan as much of this kind of stuff, but
yeah,
she thrives doing this kind of stuff. She stayed up late taking a little jacuzzi bubble bath.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing is that normally she sleeps in her own room, and she's really good about going to bed at a certain time, but the cabin is just one big space, and so oh my god, we'd probably for 30 minutes we'd put her down on the futon, and then she'd come crawling out. Hi. So then we decided to give up and let her take a big bubble bath in the jacuzzi with us,
listening to Christmas music.
Yeah, it was a good night, but now she's sleepy. She partied too hard.
Cuddle baby. Hey, want to come chat with me? Say hi.
Hi.
So we ended up going on that hike, and then we came back here and had a kind of a lazy afternoon. Well, actually, first we tried to go to the grocery store because we were going to buy Uma a pack and play so she doesn't think bedtime is just playtime. And then we remembered that it's Thanksgiving and that all the grocery stores around this town that we're in, including Walmart, were closed. So that also meant we couldn't get any groceries. So it was the perfect excuse to have one more meal out and to have a nice, big, yummy Thanksgiving feast, which Matt is going to pick up right now. But we still don't have a pack and play, so we'll see how Uma does going to sleep, because you can see this whole, it's a big, like, cabin, but it's basically just one open space, so every time we've tried to lay her down for a nap or bed, she just thinks that it's a game to come peek at us. So but yeah, it was a really nice day. It was in the 60s, so we spent a lot of time sitting outside, and I think that's gonna wrap it up. We'll get some shots when Matt gets back, but that was the first 2 days of our trip, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Now can you rock? Ah, rocky, rocky, rocky. Oh, can I see? Can I see her? Oh, she's so cute. Hee 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 hee, it's right.